His sky was clear. The flight was routine for the 296 souls aboard United Airlines. Flight 232 on July 19, 1989. It was just another journey, a smooth ride across the heartland of America, aboard a McDonnell Douglas DC-10, a trusted workhorse of the skies. Steel, power, precision. This aircraft had flown countless miles. It had kept its promises, but on this day, it would be forced to break them. In the cockpit, Captain Alfred C. Haynes, a veteran with nearly 30,000 hours of flight time. Beside him, First Officer William R. Records, with 20,000 hours to his name, and Flight Engineer Dudley J. Dvorak, a seasoned pro in his own right. All calm, all routine, instruments green, altitude steady. Just another day above the earth. Passengers chatted quietly, flipped through magazines, gazed at the ocean of clouds. A young boy laughed at something on his tray table. A mother rocked her baby to sleep. And then, at 3:16 p.m., it happened. A deafening boom tore through the aircraft. Metal screamed, the fuselage shuddered, the cabin exploded into chaos. People clutched the armrests as the plane pitched violently. Oxygen masks dropped like ghostly vines. Screams echoed from row to row. In the cockpit, alarms blared. Red lights, warnings, confusion. "What the hell was that?" Records barked. "I think we lost an engine," Haynes muttered, scanning for answers. But this was no ordinary engine failure. The number 2 engine, mounted in the tail, had exploded. Shrapnel, like shivs of death, tore through the aircraft's structure, severing all 3 hydraulic lines. The nervous system of the plane gone. No rudder, no yoke, no stabilizers. Nothing responded. In the cabin, panic sickened the air. The plane lurched like a wounded animal. People cried, prayed, held strangers' hands. The realization crept in. They couldn't steer the plane. And then, a 4th figure stepped into the cockpit. Dennis Fitch, a DC-10 instructor pilot off duty. Just a passenger. Until now, calm, focused, relentless. "We can use the engine," he said. "Asymmetric thrust. We might be able to steer with that." A glimmer, a chance, a technique never taught, never practiced. But it was all they had. Together they began the impossible. Using only the thrust of 2 engines, they fought the plane into a fragile balance, keeping it in the air by sheer will and raw skill. Controllers cleared a path to Sioux Gateway Airport in Iowa, a small regional runway now transformed into a war zone of anticipation. On the ground, fire trucks lined the runway. Paramedics stood by. Everyone knew this would not be a landing. This would be a crash. Brace, brace, heads down, stay down. Flight attendants marched the aisles, their voices unwavering in the face of doom. In the final moments, silence fell across the cabin. Hands were held. Final prayers whispered. Hearts waited. Then, impact. The DC-10 slammed into the runway. The right wing ripped away, erupting in flames. The fuselage cartwheeled, shattering into a storm of debris. Metal twisted, fire roared, screams tore through the smoke. And then, silence, but from the wreckage rose life. 185 people survived. Against every odd. In a moment the world believed unsurvivable. They lived. Rescue teams pulled bodies from flame and ruin. Some survivors walked out. Others were dragged. All were forever changed. 112 souls were lost. But even in that immense tragedy, a miracle had happened. Legacy. The cause? A hidden defect in the engine's fan disk. Undetected. The solution? A revolution in aviation safety, redesigns, new protocols, and pilot training that now includes what was once thought untrainable. Because of Flight 232, we now prepare for the unthinkable. Because of Haynes, Records, Dvorak, Fitch. We now know the impossible can be survived. This was more than a crash. It was a battle between man, machine and fate. And though 112 were lost, 296 souls were carried by courage that day. This is not just a story of tragedy. It is a story of resilience, of teamwork, of impossible hope in free fall. United Airlines Flight 232. The sky was clear, and yet it will never be forgotten.